How's it going, guys? My name is Ninja Cowboy. I'm an aspiring Apex Legends coach, and this is going to be a VOD review on the Soar Pro Apex Legends team. One of them is the current record holder for the most kills in the Apex Legends game. I watch these guys a lot. I've got a lot of admiration towards them. Extremely skilled players. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at two of their perspectives out of the three on the teams. We're going to be looking at Soar'S and RPR. They are, just to give you guys a little background, they're running one longbow on IPN. They're running a Watson Wraith Pathfinder composition, so they got a lot of high ground movement, a lot of repositioning capabilities, and definitely a lot of bunkering capabilities. Everyone else is running SMG Wingman. The sniper is on IPN, and they are looking at top 11 teams, diamond play. Let's just jump right into it. So the audio is going to be coming from the screen on your right, excuse me, just to not audio fog too much. So here they hear the longbow shots to their left, right, coming from the walls on Repulsor. So they make the call to just leave the fight since they're running single sniper. That's definitely a solid call there. You don't want to challenge that type of high ground when you're running, mostly wingman. So they take this first building in zone. It's normally a building that I wouldn't recommend anyone to use, only for the structure of the building, the way the building's put together, let's say, only because there's so many different avenues of approach that other teams can take. There are so many different hiding spots, not only inside, but below, on top, all around. There's so many different ways that teams can get at them. But considering the zone position, this is the best call for them, hands down. It's a little bit away from the edge so that it guarantees them at least one more circle. So as long as they get bunkered down in here and just keep taking those pop shots through windows, this is definitely a good position that they want to take. Now, Soar'S here on your right is putting a lot of really good fences down. He's making sure to tuck those pylons deep into the corner, and then if he has the availability, he's stretching them far away from the door. What that does is prevents teams from the other side of the door to peek an angle and shoot the bottom of your post out to destroy your fence. So really smart placement here. He's holding on to ult accelerants, which is good. Right now he has interceptor up, and he's got 3 more ult accelerants. So that's 4 interceptors that he could put down in this room. You can have 3 at a time, but that's 4 possible interceptors. You see RPR here. He's kind of like he's playing their scout role, which is perfect for the Wraith. That's what you want your Wraith to be doing. You want him to be a little ballsier. You want him to be playing kind of like a satellite to your bunker compound, working the roof, working the outside, probing other compounds. Maybe like if there's a small shed close by to the compound you're bunkering on, you want him to poke that and probe that, only because with Wraith form, with Wraith form mixed with a small hitbox, he can easily get out of there unscathed. Really smart play here. Trying to scout, watch for late rotations into zone. All right, so they're playing. So RPR here, you see him making a big play onto that supply bin. So some people might think like, oh yeah, he's going to have a Mastiff, he's going to have a Kraber. But what's more important is that another team isn't going to have whatever capabilities he's grabbing from this package. So now it's good that he has a Mastiff, right? But it's even better that another team doesn't have a Mastiff. So even if he were to just grab that Mastiff, bring it back to his compound, drop it in the middle of the floor, and then go back and pick up his wingman, it's still better that another team isn't going to have that Mastiff to push in on them. So it looks like they're taking a lot of pot shots at that team that's on top of wall, which is not a bad idea at all. If you can, they're not in a building, so they're not going to have extra loot stored away unless they made runs. So taking those pop shots and trying to get them to, burn shield cells, burn batteries, burn med kits, things like that, that's perfect for that good late game strat. Because a lot of fights, especially in Diamond where they're at, it's all about just resources, resource management, resource saving. So what I would like to see here, something they're not doing, is getting an interceptor down. So if you think about it, if one team was even slightly coordinated, they could get 2 different angles on their building and just toss 3, 4 arc stars, maybe a frag or a thermite down, and start pinging damage on them, and then they'd pretty much be doing the exact same thing that I was just talking about, resource management, just burning their cells, burning their batteries, all that kinds of stuff. So it looks like they spotted a team here. They see the Wraith portal, bottom stairs. So I would have liked to see the 2 wingman users hold. Oh, so I guess there's 1 wingman user now because he picked up the Mastiff. So it's good that he's getting hits with his wingman, but if he would have let his longbow open up that engagement, he could have possibly just ripped a headshot, and then any shots with that wingman that come through are most likely going to knock. So a little bit of patience there would have been helpful. Kind of rushed it, but these are small techs. I have to pick apart the small things because these guys are pros, so if I'm looking for big mistakes, I'm not going to find too many of them. Now, right here, this rotation, high ground's nice, but if they would have waited 8 more seconds, they could have seen where the zone went, and that way they could have played more effectively towards a zone, towards the next zone, as opposed to just taking a shot in the dark and going for high ground. And he dropped an interceptor, and look at that. All right, so right there, you see zone just went back to the building that they were just at. So they lost control of their building and wasted an interceptor. All right, so it looks like their Mastiff R99 is leading. That's good. You want him to take point. He can crack shields in 1 shot. They're doing a good pinch. So if you saw there, they had IPN come from the front door, and then they wrapped in through hallway. And this is all you need here. So they're playing it perfectly. They force the other team out of the building, and they're not necessarily playing to wipe this squad. They're just playing to take control of that building back. That's all they needed to do. That's beautiful. Really like the play there. Yeah, definitely want to clean up that knock. Any information that those teams have from the outside is bad. So this knock is literally just sitting there feeding information to his teammates outside. Let him know, hey, they're rezzing in the corner. Hey, one's cracked shields, one's healing, one's up top, one's down mid, one's watching the window. That's all super important information that he's feeding to his team that he wouldn't necessarily have if they cleaned that up a little sooner. They did come through with the cleanup, so that's good. I like him using the ult excel here to get a interceptor down. Hopefully, I'd like to see him take rooftop control here. They just saw there's a Kraber in the game. Yep, they called it out. Okay. Oh, that's a bad push by that Wraith. It's good that they took advantage of that. Yeah, he's okay. So you hear RPR coming through with the call to get low ground because of that Kraber. Unless you have a lot of faith and confidence in your longbow player to combat that Kraber, you definitely don't want to give that Kraber any opportunity to get a pick on you. Getting fresh health while they have time to reset the fight. That's good. Get some interceptors down high. Yes, beautiful. Okay, so he's got the interceptor play down. They don't have to worry about nades. They don't have to worry about barrages. They're pretty much running a clinic on how to play late game. They're trying to team shoot, trying to nade them out. It's a really good fence blocking that high ground. I'd like to see him put another fence right above that door. If you're looking at Moffers right now, there's a door to his right. If he just fenced that off, no one can jump up. RPR's pretty much holding that Pathfinder, making sure that Pathfinder doesn't get any cheesy grapples up top or anything crazy like that. That's good. Destroying interceptors, that's another really, really strong play. Good shot. Wow. Good pick. All right, so they're looking at 2 other teams. They're constantly communicating. That's something extremely important here. You need to constantly be communicating enemy movements, who's low, who's cracked shields, who's got damage on them, all kinds of good stuff here. So at this point, this is where you want to kind of start probing. You want to start moving out, kind of hunt a little bit from safe though, but they've pretty much just been AD spamming in this one spot, which isn't bad. I mean, they're still alive. They have the advantage on that team, but if they were to get out a little more, maybe rotate that circle a little more effectively, they'd have a more advantageous position, and they might be able to take a team off with an engagement, especially with the raw talent that these guys are bringing to the table. Not a lot of people are going to be able to fight them in a straight up 3v3. All right, sees the fences, calls it out, perfect. At this point, I would like to see, so they know that there's a team underneath that balcony, whatever you want to call it. I would like to see RPR, since he's a Wraith with a Mastiff and an R99, jump on that team, immediately followed by IPN and Moffers. That way they can, RPR could get in, crack 1, maybe 2 shields if he's lucky. If he's really lucky, get a knock. And then have Moffers and IPN jump right in after that, full shields, full health, mop up the rest of the team, and then they have that position because... Oh, no. Not looking good for Moffers. That was a really bad challenge. So you never want to... You don't want your Watson to be dropping down like that. Okay, he's talking about breaking the interceptor. That's extremely smart. You want to crack that interceptor. You never want to leave an interceptor behind because they will heal other team shields. They will stop your grenades from making contact. So here, let's do this. There we go. All right, so again, communication, it's constantly flowing. They always know what each other are thinking. Calling out breaking traps, that's good. If you see a trap, if you see a fence and you have the availability and the ammo to destroy it, there's no point to not destroy those. You want to keep the other teams as low utility and as low resource as you possibly can. All right, zone's coming in. Wraith form to get low ground. All right, so right there, what I'm looking for, what I'm really looking for right there is for, instead of Wraith forming and waiting, he has a general idea of where the circle is going to close. It's a little hard to tell while you're in Wraith form because you can't actually see that. But I would have at least liked him to get inside mid-circle and just start spraying. I mean, even if he's just spinning his mouse 360s and spraying, at least he's going to hit some damage on so that his high ground player can get a little bit more free damage on him. Because at this point, it's either going to come down to a heal off or it's going to come down to who can do as much damage to health, not shields, to health as possible. So if he took the time to crack shields, possibly giving his high ground teammate enough time to do a little bit of damage on him to win that heal off. Let's see what's IPN up to. Okay. Crack. Good dodge. Okay, so he was grapple... He was grapple tricking up top. That's another smart tech. Let's take a look at that. I think I can get that from his perspective. All right, so we're back to just before the zone starts closing in. This is RPR we're spectating through Moffer's perspective. I'm looking at this because he's going to swap to IPN. So listen to what IPN's saying. All right, break trap. They hear him throw another one. I think he gets eyes on it. Yep. He just saw him through that balcony. That sucks that he didn't notice. All right, so they have a zip shooting across the top of where the circle is. Grapple tricking, zipline tricking right here. So he's above. He's in zone. He's not taking damage, and he's just zipline tricking. Let's see why. I don't know why he would drop down in a caustic gas here. I'd like to see him throw a nade, spray, something midair. I mean, it's not the best, but okay. So all in all, let's break down what we saw, right? Absolutely perfect bunker play from them. A couple things I'd like to see is maybe getting an interceptor down on the inside. It turned out paying off because another team took it from them, but they wouldn't have lost it if they would have played the low ground in the first place and waited for that zone to come in. Another thing, they didn't probe. You've got to probe a little bit. It's smart to play in the bunker and wait for the teams to come down, other teams to pick each other off, jump in on that third party. That's all solid. But even when a third party opportunity arose, they stayed high ground and just hoped that they were going to hit shots from top. When I would have liked to see them hit that, jump down to that balcony and rotate towards the tree the Pathfinder was on. Let me see if I can illustrate that for you guys here. Okay, so right here. Big third-party opportunity. So look at their positioning, right? So you've got the team fight that's going on down low. We know that this team is here, and they're shooting either down here on the rocks low side, or they're shooting underneath balcony. So the perfect play to pull right here. It's a little ballsy, but again, with the raw talent that these guys are pulling out, you can absolutely make ballsier plays. So I would like to see them reposition right here on the right side of his screen. You see that plateau with where the tree is. So you've got the tree for cover that you can kind of maneuver around, and then you've got this big open space to work with right here, to where you can either jump here, shoot down here, or jump here and clear under balcony. So now you control all the high ground. Even if these guys have a Pathfinder to zip top, by the time they got that high ground zip down, you would be able to destroy them, melt them absolutely. Especially with a Mastiff, you're not going to get a zip off in that close range with a Mastiff. But instead, they stayed height and just kind of let the zone play out on its own. You don't want to let it play out to that point. When it comes to points, they're already at as many points for placement as they can get. The only points they can get now is if they each hit their 5 kill max, which he's got 1. I think RPR had 1, maybe 2, if any. And then IPN's probably looking at about the same, maybe 1, maybe 2. So definitely would like to have seen them move down here to this right low ground, play that tree for cover, and then just use a natural high ground advantage to take advantage of this team. And if this team was up here on balcony, depending on if they were low rocks or balcony, I can't tell at this point in the VOD, but they at least had the high ground advantage on this team. So this is just a few things I'd like to work on. I hope that this helped you guys. Again, I don't think I'm the best player in the world, but I do think I take a lot of time to analyze these pros and see how the play is going. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helped you. I hope I taught you something. Leave a like under this. Leave a comment in the description. Leave a comment down below. Argue with me. Tell me if I'm stupid. Tell me if I'm awesome. All this good shit. Share this around, and drop a subscribe if you want to see more stuff just like this. I'll be doing a lot more pro views, and hopefully helping you guys climb the ladder. This is Ninja Cowboy.